Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Let me extend. Yeah. ¿Tienes una mochila? ¿Tienes el teléfono?
Yeah, Key.
Come on over. And it's so soon they're going to want us at this podium.
Oh, okay.
See the smile.
How's it going, everybody?
We can ask her just how you feeling about the judge's ruling.
I feel like we didn't accomplish the education side of things where people really understand the tool and stuff, but the ruling was in our favor, so I can't complain about that.
What do you want to educate the public on with regards to wearing?
I'd like Will first to do a summary of what happened there, and then I'll talk a little more.
So, I mean, I think what we have here is it shows that even if you're wearing Google Glass, the officers, it still must be established that you're actually using Google Glass. Just like using a cell phone or texting violations, it must be shown that you're actually violating the law. That's what it seems as though the court established here today. So I think that's something that can be relied on by drivers. You won't get ticketed for just wearing Google Glass or just having a phone in your car. There's still some protection against being cited unjustly and unlawfully. Unfortunately, we didn't get into the larger issues of, you know, whether driving with Google Glass operating on your face is considered legal or not. The judge did have some commentary about that at the end.
Do you agree that Commissioner Blair seemed to say that California statute does cover Google Glasses or anything that's a device that could present an image in front of the seat? That the statute does cover Google Glasses as it would a TV monitor.
That was my understanding of what Commissioner Blair did say. Every judge is going to interpret this statute a little differently. That's still to come. This being the first case, he's the first one to have heard the evidence, and based on his opinion, that is what he seemed to indicate. Now, he did mention, and I would follow up there, the language of the statute is very expansive. It is open to interpretation. So I think if you run the same facts through different judges, you are going to get different conclusions from each and every one. They can rely on different things about the statute to either find someone in violation or to, in fact, find them innocent of that same charge. So I think the next step that comes down to what's the legislator going to say about this as more Google Glass become readily available to the general public, and are they willing to take an additional step and write new laws specifically related to Google Glass, or allow judges to personally interpret them on a case-by-case basis.
You obviously showed that the CHP officer wasn't able to prove that Google Glass was in fact on, but do you think, though, do you agree with what you said, that the code does cover Google Glass?
I personally think it's open for interpretation, and that's the problem we have with that code. It's kind of too wishy-washy. It allows one person to say, yes, it applies, and the next person to say, no, it doesn't. I think we don't have a code that directly applies to Google Glass. If the court wanted to make wearing Google Glass illegal, the legislator could in fact do that, but they haven't yet come forward to make Google Glass guilty. So
Cecilia, the officer said that he didn't think you could see him when you drove up behind him because your vision was obstructed, was it?
No, I did see him. I was in an area that I wasn't very familiar, so I wasn't sure about the speed limits and things, but I did see him, obviously. And there's no blind spot with this device. You can guys try it, and there's no blind spot. If it's situated in the right position, where it should be, it's designed to be out of the way. It's designed to be there only when you need it. So it will never push stuff to you unless you actively engage with it and ask it to do so.
So even with video up there, it won't create a blind spot for you?
No, even with video, no. Because like my video right now, I'm seeing it at this kind of height. So it's above the line of sight, and I can see all of you right now.
Are you wearing them the way you would normally wear them right now, or do you have them adjusted?
This is the way I wear them.
But that's to my question. You said, you claimed that it wasn't on while you were driving. But even if it was on, do you think in that case the code does cover Google Glass?
I believe we have to start experimenting with devices like these that might solve the problem of cell phones and cars. Technology usually improves people's lives, but sometimes a bad combination of technologies or technologies that are not mature enough, they can cause big problems like cell phones in cars. So maybe a solution like this or other solutions that are potentially the automotive industry is looking into other solutions. So we have to push forward and not be afraid of technology and consider it in an educated way.
Do you think
Cecilia,
those are safer than a cell phone when you're driving a car?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Do you think those glasses are safer than a cell phone when you're driving a car?
I believe you can use them in a wise way, and you could use them hands-free. So as a hands-free device, is completely superior to a cell phone, yes.
You made some allegations inside the courtroom. The officer said that you leaned over toward your passenger seat as if you were videotaping him. Were you videotaping him when he wrote you the ticket?
No, I wish I was. I really wished I was, because that would be on the mainstream right now and everybody could see it, but I didn't. And the reason why I was leaning over is because the light that they put when it's at night, it was very blinding. And I did mention to him I was very uncomfortable with the blinding light and trying to look at him.
Some people are calling this a groundbreaking case. Other people who have the Google Glass that you have, the early editions of it, are watching to see what happens to it. Do you consider what happened today, you and to your attorney, a success?
I believe it's an initial success, but there's a long way to go to actually make sure this is safer even, and make sure that people understand it.
You're
Is
going to
there a
drive
meaning
home
with
with
your
those
shirt?
on today?
Yes, I will. What's that?
Is there a meaning with your shirt less than 4 today?
This is my new uniform. I'm changing. I kind of donated all my clothes, and I'm going to publish pictures soon, and I'm switching to less is more because this is what I believe on.
He was also making these accusations that you're a little, I guess, for lack of a better word, belligerent towards him or combative towards him.
I felt it was the opposite. I felt like he was having a very strong position, and he wasn't open to understanding a device that he never saw before. Many other officers before, in different situations in the street, would like to try it and would like to experience. Actually, there's certain officers in parts of the country that are trying this as part of their job. So I thought it was very sad that he didn't give a chance. He had a very strong position, and he never understood deeply the technology he was trying to rule.
Counsel, are you at all surprised their so-called expert witness just read articles on the internet, hadn't even tried on a pair?
I honestly consider myself an expert. I do multiple conferences. I speak about Google Glass. I wear it for 9 months all day long. So I'm portrayed as an expert doing keynotes in conferences. And for me, it was kind of shocking that someone that never tried glass was an expert or portrayed as an expert.
Do your colleagues also drive with Google Glass on?
My fellow explorers, we are a very tight community. We call ourselves the Glass family, and many of them drive with Glass. They feel like it's safer than driving with their cell phones.
William, what can you say about the legal questions that this brings up looking toward the future? Google Glass is going to be made available for everybody later this year.
I think the biggest issue that's going to approach people as Google Glass and other technologies become more readily available is, what does the legislator do about this? Do they let the lower level judges here, like in traffic courts across the state, decide what to do, or do they take some action to either prohibit Google Glass or put more guidelines similar to cell phones or texting laws that we already have in existence?
Cecilia, I saw you uploaded a video of users taking pictures from the driver's seat. Based on what the judge or the commissioner said today, would you think that is illegal activity in the state of California?
I believe it's a hands-free device, and if you operate it without hands, I imagine that it would be allowed. The way you take a picture is you do this and you say, okay, Glass, take a picture, or you can even wink. So I believe people are allowed to wink when they are in cars. I never saw a law against it.
Were any of those pictures your pictures?
One of them or two were mine.
Are you video chatting right now with your explorers?
I am.
So you don't think that's distracting to a driver, whether you're taking a picture or playing a video?
Do you feel like I'm paying attention to you right now? I'm recording a video all this time, right? Like she just asked. Do you feel like I'm not paying attention to you?
I don't know. You're a pretty amazing young woman.
I think another issue is when we look at devices like this, is it more or less distracting than other things we're allowed to do while driving? I mean, tilting your head up for a second to turn on your Google Glass is no different than when you're supposed to be looking at your rearview mirror and making periodic checks throughout your car of your surroundings. Same as, I don't know about you, but every time I look at my radio, I kind of take my eye off the road for a split second, change the channel. I think what Ms. Abadie is saying is, by having Google Glass and having it being voice activated, you can command that without ever taking your eyes off the roadway, which is essentially what we're trying to do. There's been a lot of commotion about, is it a distraction? Does it block your view? I tried it on, and you know what? Your eyes go around the Google Glass because of where it is positioned in your face. So you still have a full peripheral view, even though you do have it above your eye. It also doesn't seem to block your eyesight, straight ahead. So anything can be a distraction while you're driving. It's just what things do we decide to make unlawful and which do we allow. And we're hoping down the road Google Glass is one of those things that's allowed while driving.
Is anyone from Google here, or have they been in touch with you about this?
I have not personally been contacted by anyone from Google, but I believe Ms. Abadie did have some initial contacts with people there.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. Sorry.
Cecilia, Prius won't do 85 anyway, will it?
Prius won't do what?
It won't go 85 miles an hour.
That's true. I love the car, though. Until the Tesla, the Prius is good.
Anything else?
You guys have nothing else?
Anything else you want to add?
For me, it's very weird to find myself in a position where the public opinion and me are so against. That doesn't happen in my life many times. And, well, oh well. Let's not talk about that. But it's not the most common situation. So I believe there's an information gap. And I would love for people to get educated and at least check it out. And all of you are invited to try it as well.
Since October, you've seemed very confident, relaxed but confident that you knew that you were never in the wrong. Do you feel that way today based on what just happened?
I felt great when I talked to Will and Gabriel, and they explained me the law situation. And after that, I really felt very, well about it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't have my
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hello, I can questions in Spanish.
Sí, ya hacemos. Dame un minutito. Yes.
Is there can he shoot through these? Can he shoot through your glasses? And
I think it won't work. So a lot of people try it. I don't want to. I don't have the time to do that today.
First, and then
do you mind?
can we try?
Okay, let's try.
You can stand there.
Turn it around and put it.
You want to hold him?